Hey, it's Brooklyn Ty at Brooklyn Ty NYC. What's the word? Hey, it's Brooklyn Ty, and you're tuned in to What's the Word podcast. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Or, as they say in Ghana, Akwaba. Oh man, before I get into this, for some of y'all, I'll say welcome back. This is episode 5 of season 2, and I appreciate you all for tuning in. As always, thank you to those who have been sharing my podcast and my blogs and telling a friend to tell a friend, buying my merch, following me on social media. You know, I appreciate you for spreading love. It's the Brooklyn Ty way. If this is your first time, where have you been? But as always, better late than never. So again, Akwaba. Make sure you check out my previous episodes and my blogs. Subscribe to my website so you never miss out on what's in store or upcoming episodes and what's possibly happening in your area. I'll keep you updated with all of that stuff. Go to www.brooklyntyenyc.com. That's www.brooklyntyenyc.com. You can shop my merch there as well. I have tees, hoodies, sweatshirts, double-sided totes, mugs, and more. So go and support, spread love, follow me on social media, Twitter and IG mainly, at Brooklyn Ty NYC. And again, that's BKLYNTYENYC. And as a reminder for DC and VA, be sure to check out New Jack City Live. It stars Alan Payne, Tretch from Naughty by Nature, Big Daddy Kane, Gary Dordan, Flex Alexander, and my son. It's going to be at the National Theater in DC, Washington, DC. That is February 16th, which is this week all the way to Saturday the 18th. And then it comes to VA 1 day, 2 shows on Sunday, February 19th, 3 p.m. and 7:30 show. So check that out. And yeah, let's get into Ty Talk.
You're now listening to What's the Word podcast with Brooklyn Ty.
So y'all, when I tell you I had an amazing time and a life-changing experience in Africa, I mean, it will never say enough. I might probably going to make this like 2 parts of my African experience, but I'm sure you can tell like the excitement in my voice. It was amazing. Like mentally, I'm still there. Physically, I'm back in America, but it was an amazing experience. If you ever get a chance, if you want to learn your real Black roots, I suggest and recommend you go to Africa. Like, I'm so serious. The experience was like emotional. It was fun. I had my mother. I had my 3 sisters, my twin sisters, and my baby sister who's 23. My first oldest daughter who's about to be 30. And then a few of my sister's closest friends, which after we had an experience, like, I just know like my ancestors have followed me back home. As of today, I've been back for a week. My voice is still recovering, so you have to excuse me. I don't even know where to get started, like, to be honest. We started in Senegal, and then we went to Ghana, which captured my heart. My heart is there. I plan on going back next March of 2024. And then we ended in South Africa. Like today, I want to give you one of our experiences. First of all, my name I left with is Kuku Abiku, which basically is Wednesday. It's 2 different ways to say Wednesday, but since I was born on Wednesday, like, I'll probably in the next episode give you that experience when we went to the last bath. Today, I'm going to give you GREENSBORO Island, which we had Elijah, which was our tour guide. I'm going to play some audio for you just so he can explain the history of what GREENSBORO Island is. One of the words he kept, or that kept following us along this trip, was intellect. Like, we have to change our intellect on, and as far as, I mean, I'm speaking to my Black African Americans, like, we have to change our intellect on what was taught to us in America. Because what I experienced, I found that a lot of the things that we learned in school are untrue because there was a language barrier, or just, the white people that just decided to translate and make it to where the Black Africans were like lower is unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I guess, because I don't want to make this episode too long, I'm just going to play audio from Elijah when we was at GREENSBORO Island, which is in Senegal. We took a boat over. It was maybe about a 15-minute commute. We ate some delicious and the food was amazing the entire trip. We ate well. We did it. We even ate from a tree. We ate from a tree. We ate leaves from a tree. Anyway, let's get into what Elijah has to say. And please note, he is African. He's actually a Haitian African. His accent is very heavy, so you're going to have to listen slow. Might have to play it back, but listen to what he has to say.
Yo, what up, fam? It's your friendly neighborhood fly guy, Cool Kim. And yo, I just want to send my condolences to everyone opposing this, because right now I'm on What's the Word podcast with my sister, Brooklyn Ty. And listen, it ain't no lie. Anything we do, stay fly. You understand? Keep tuning in. So much more to come. Peace.
Ray from Ray and saying correct. But crazy, it's in Wolof, Senegalese language. Gore, it just means dignity. And dignity, it's what they taken out to ancestors by slavery during 4 centuries in many island transit like this one. You have to know, slavery, it was not just from Gore, it was from Dakar to Cape Town in South Africa. That's why on that time, Lord Island like this one, European get. This one be so important by his geographically position. And today, it still are important for everyone in the world. Reason, Gore, it's the opportunity for everyone to see where ancestors, they were shipped to America. And reason, this is the opportunity. It's just to hide this horror. When they abolished slavery at 1848, they broke all the costs. If Gore get building older one like them, it's just after abolition, automatically it became the West African French territories capital. From this island, during 200 years, the French governor controlled 15 countries, West Africa. But of course, the official history, it's French one, but we know it's a fake one. We're gonna fix a lot of things wrong. Like French say, 1444, Portuguese discovered this island. For me, like Columbus, they never discovered here. And the reason, it's 4 centuries before Portuguese. Senegalese fishermen, call it lebu, control the island like an industry. They do ceramic, pottery, textile, and they transform product from the sea. But before they arrived, we used textile. 15th century, when Europeans arrived in West Africa, it's them who get the inferior complex to our ancestors. And reason why today it's us who get that, it's just we go to them school, French, British, or Arab one. And there we never learn our history, not in our language. For me, it's where we get the inferior complex. We don't know who we are. At school, what we learn, it's not our history. It's a damn history in Africa. And what they teach us, it's a fake one. Like just the French say, on that time, they do business with Africa. And men, after 3 months, they still get 60 kg and are stronger. French say they just cause alcohol, tobacco, mirror, or something like that. But we know by Portuguese, they are first who do slavery. And they do that during 2 centuries before French. They never say doing business. From here, they just kept the people by force. And that's why they need from boat by cannon to shoot the land first time. To capture who survive it. They transit in island like Gore. And from here, Portuguese say, some of them, they do proposition. If you want to be free and control a part of your land, it's possible. You just have to be collaborator. And also, you have to pay us. But we control the land. We control the riches. To pay us, you have to take guns to capture your other brothers and bring it for us in island like Gore, like captive, not slaves. That's why from island like this one, ancestors, they are captive. That's why house we're gonna see, like the yellow one with the green shooters. All of them who facing the ocean in this island, it's an older jail, call it slave house. It was not them house, just a jail where they kept the people during 3 months maximum. It's a time for the selection. Just the stronger one arrived to America. Invalid one who agonize it, they just throw them into the sea. And after 3 months, the house gonna be a market. And we're gonna see where people was presented. And at the top, buyer and seller, they look if good or not to buy. And you have to know from here, buyer and seller, they are European, not Africa. That's why we don't believe them when they say people cost alcohol. The reason they do slavery, it was for the economy. Each house, it was 350 people, just on the bottom. Yeah, it's European who live at the top. We're gonna see the condition, like cell sizes for men who arrived and get minimum 90 kilograms and was taller guys, 1.9. Cell sizes, it was 2.6 by 2.6, 40 people each cell. During 23 hours per day, they just stand. And people was chained by them uncle 2 by 2. 1 hour, it's time to go outside, closer to the sea for toilet. If not time, they do inside. That's why, question today, it's if European on that time, they was not barbarian. How possible to live at the top before what happened downstairs? We're gonna see that. But Cheikh Anta Diop, the Senegalese scientist, get a book called it Civilization or Barbarian. He explained that very well. And his other big book called it Negro Nation and Civilization. Negro and nation, it's a lot, nation negro. Civilization, it's lonely. It comes from Africa and around the world. But this is the reason why we know negro never mean black. It just, who define it? If I'm negro or not, it's not my skin color. It just depends on my intellect. That's why it's possible to have the white negro or the red negro or the black negro. But 15 centuries, when ancestors meet them, we was not negro. We was free and civilized people. Include in empire, like the Mandinka one, or Igbo Empire, or the Gold Coast. And Mandinka Empire today include all the West African French territories. Gold Coast today, it's Ghana. But the emperor of Mandinka, we know very well, call it Sunjata Keita. At 1236, it's 200 years before Portuguese, they come. This guy was ready to do the African right work, not in Egyptian language, but in Ko language. And Ko today, it's Bambara language. But let's walk a little bit, see the museum, and after we'll do the tour. But even you buy a house on this island, painting color or architecture, not possible to change that. It's a World Heritage by UNESCO 1978. And all of them was made by black stones. They are volcanic stone. Origin of the island, it's a volcano.
Oh, wow.
And it's in Dakar, still now. Under the African Monument of Renaissance, there are the crater of the volcano. But geologists say we are safe, last eruption like 13 million years.
Now, how was that for some Black history? So basically that was, again, Elijah explaining to us where we were going, the history of what we were about to see. We got to the island and we went to the Masons des Esclaves. I think that's how you say it. Basically, in English, it means the house of slaves. That was an experience in itself. I am going to play audio in a few moments, but did you hear when he said at the end, after he finished speaking, he was like, Darajaf. That was my favorite word that I left from Senegal. That means thank you. So he was just thanking us for listening to him explain. So right quick, won't be long. Here's some audio from once we got to the island and basically what we were seeing.
They don't like me. They was taller and faster guys. 1.9, 90 kg, it was the minimum for ancestors. And from here, it's a range of 5 by range 8. They chain them by them ankle 2 by 2. 23 hours from here, they just stand like sardine boxes. And reason conditions are horrible like this, it's just they do the selection. You have to be strong. And when they really prepare people from here, house became a market. And on the middle, just here, they present people for selling, and at the top, buyer and seller. And I say from here, buyer and seller, they are European, not African. You know, we never enslave our brothers and we never sell them to be that in America. Just the French say that. That's why in our local world, it never means slaves, just servant. First, it's good to know where come from this word. And by Mr. Sheikh Anta Diop, we know it just from Europe, by the Slavic. Today, they are Ukrainian, Bulgarian, Poland guys. During 12 centuries, it's all the European, call it on that time the Viking, who enslaved them. They are from Scandinavia today and get the blue eye. During 12 centuries, they do that at home. It explains reason why when they arrived here, it was easy for them and they get the knowledge how to enslave people. That's why they need to get collaborator, someone who's gonna do the work for them. But Portuguese say the first they do proposition to them. But they say them first to collaborator, they not was good one. That's why they need to take kids to ship them to Portugal for 10 years. It's a time to brainwash them. And when they back home, it's who replace African who never accept collaboration. That's why that guys, they just like us today. I say we go to them to school. That's why we are African just by our skin, not by the intellect. We don't learn our history there. It's where we get the interior. People was prepared in house like this one, separate. On this side, 3 cells, it's just for men. We're gonna see for kids, for young girls, and other guys. But stronger one, they go to North America. It's what they need there. Kids go to South America, like Brasilia. The stubborn one, they go to Jamaica or Haiti. Young girls, when they really use her, they go to French Caribbean. You know, reason I say when they really use her, it's just for young girls. First time, they are not for selling, but just to do the entertainment for them. That's why we're gonna see they get a lot of privilege. Let's see that. Lot ventilation. For men, they are directly to the sun. From here, they get a floor. And the white rocks you see here, they cover toilet, Turkish one. It's a lot privilege. This was for the young girls. And when they arrived here, French say they have to get firm breast. Their value don't depend on that. She's just good to do the entertainment if breasts are firm. You know, they are 40 there. She's maximum 15 here. Reason why they take care, it's just European at the top. From here, they select a woman 9. If one of her get pregnant, she's automatically free. We saw outside house like a boat. It's where black lady and mulatto baby, they live on this island or north part of Senegal, Saint-Louis. And they was call it signor. Signor, we know, it's just a deformation of signora. Signora means madame, not here. From here, signor just symbolize your social status. And mulatto one, they upgrade mom. She just be the servant of the baby. And one of her we know well, she was called Josephine de Beauharnais. She's from Caribbean, and she was the wife of Napoleon Bonaparte, the king of France. Mm-hmm. And she's gonna be the pretext for Bonaparte to do against slavery in Caribbean at 1802. But we know this is the fake pretext. The really reason to do again after first abolition, it's just after 1792, they see them economic go down and they do again, but Bonaparte say he just do pleasure to his wife. And from here, when they receive the other Europeans who gonna buy people, just to push them to buy more people or to recommend the house of someone in Ireland like this one, they give them young girls who get firm breasts and are considered virgin girls. That's why I say she's just good to do the entertainment for them. And when they really use this young lady, it's a time for her to go to French Caribbeans and transform the product for them. That's why she get a lot of privilege like this. Between 7 to 12, kids was here. Yeah. And you know, reason they kept the kids, it's they are mobile, good to do the transport. And also kids, they get small hand, good to grape, cafe, cacao. That's why they go to South America. But this is the reason why we have someone called it Mr. Neymar. They are black Brazilian, the football player, or Mr. Bob Marley, or Usain Bolt, or Mr. Michael Jordan. All of them, they know they come from West Africa, but not exactly where. And the reason, it's just they never go from here to America by their African name. They go by number. And in America, it's master who selected the new name. Yeah. That's why it's a British, Portuguese, French, or Spanish name. Yes. And you know that people, they like us. You know, we are from Africa. We know that. But our name today, it's not African name. We have Arabic or European name. That's the reason why. And when we go to school, we're gonna lose our word, our language. That's why we don't know who we are. But when we go back to our school, we never get inferior complex. We're gonna know our ancestors, they do the work. On the middle, they present people for selling. At the top, buyer and seller. If you are good, you join corridor at left and right. On that time, it's like the waiting room. After that, people pass the doorway of no return. Reason it was called the doorway of no return, it's just no one back home. That's why who passed the door, no, never back home. And when they pass this door, they don't know what happened where they go. No one back to relate what happened there. That's why when they arrive to America, they just are surprised. But today, this is the opportunity to see where they were shipped to America. That's why we call the door of the truth. After this door, a bridge was here by coconut wood, 50 meters long. It's a small boat to pick people from here to the big one to America. And during 4 centuries, the official history say 20 million people were shipped to America from West Africa. And by the way, 6 million pass away. 20 million, it's a lot, but it's not the true number. You know, Cheikh Anta Diop, the Senegalese scientists, say minimum during 4 centuries, it's 300 million people they ship to America. And by the way, 80 million pass away. We get big difference from 20 to 300. But it's going to be easy for us to believe Cheikh Anta Diop. And the Reaper, it's just French. We know by them history. From this island, every 3 months, 28 boats, they go to America. Each boat, 350 people. During 4 centuries, we do calculation. Just from this island, it's between 15 to 18 million people who turn. And Lord Island like this one from Dakar to Cape Town. And when we do the opposite to the Holocaust, during 10 years, it's 6 million people who died. If this is the Reaper for ancestors, 10 years equal at 6 million. Normally, 4 centuries, it's 240 million people who, by the way, pass away. It's going to be possible. Or the 200 million arrive to America. We join these numbers, it's just like 500 million people. That's why it's easy to believe Cheikh Anta Diop when he say minimum is 300 million.
Yo, it's your boy King Spills BK, and you're tuned in to What's the Word podcast with my girl Brooklyn Ty. Yeah.
Yo, the chills. Just even listening again and remembering being there. Oh man, it was like he put us in these cave-like rooms or like jail cells. The things our ancestors went through, I could never even still imagine the stench of like just bodies. It was 11 of us and we could barely fit. And he explained to us like it was like more people than 11. Definitely more than 11 people were held in these small space rooms. And I mean, I don't want this episode to be heavy. However, I do owe it to our ancestors to pass on the knowledge. Is Black history every day. And, you know, it's my job now that I know what I know to pass on the truth. And that last part, when he was speaking about the door no return, y'all, when you open up the door, it's just like the bridge is gone. But when you open up the door, all you see is Atlantic Ocean. That's it. Atlantic Ocean. I just sat there and gazed out and it's endless. Like you can't see. And I was just imagining a boat coming, like people just rushing to the door, waiting for a boat, trying to fit on the boat. And if it was the size of the boat that we took to get over to Gertie Island, like unbelievable, crazy. So I'll go lighter on the mood now. You know, that's all I have as far as my experience at Gertie Island in Senegal. It was fun. It was amazing. I do have more audio to share if for those who would like to hear it. It's about 50 minutes. So you can always hit me up. I might turn it into a YouTube where I'll post the audio and the pictures that I took while I was there as Elijah's speaking. I just have to figure all of that out and how I can put that together. But, you know, if y'all are interested, hit me up. Follow me on Instagram at Brooklyn Ty NYC, BKLYNTYE NYC, because I have been posting pictures. I will continue to post pictures about my experience in Africa. The next episode, I'll definitely be bringing you more, but it'll be from when I was in Ghana, because that experience was, the whole trip just kept getting better and better. So, stay tuned for that. And that's all I have for Todd Talks right now. And now let's get into tea time with my daughter Essence.
Hello, everybody. I hope you're looking, doing, and feeling amazing now. If you haven't gotten yourself a drink yet, you might want to go get you one, because it is time for tea time. A little segment where I talk about what's been on my mind lately. So this week, getting straight into it, what's been on my mind has been the hashtag no 2-week notice. Now, this has been a hashtag that appeared on TikTok around the end of 2022. And it's been really popular around, leading into the new year, and receiving 177,000 likes on the hashtag. Now, basically, the no 2-week notice has been sparked the conversation between people regarding what it's like to be in corporate America now, and if it should stay the same or if it needs to change. And there's basically two sides of the spectrum. Lately, you've been seeing, or you may have not been seeing, but a lot of discourse around Gen Z in the matter, and how we are unable or unwilling to stay at a job like the older generations, where some people give in maybe a few 5 years, 10 years, 15 years at a company. They're noticing that there is a spark, according to the New York Post.com and also the PWResearch.org, notice that at least 49% of Gen Zs are less likely to give a 2-week notice to an employer. And this is for a variety of reasons. Some reasons are listed that the unsafe and unrespectable work environments that we are forced to be in. A lot of companies believe just working their people to death and just give that really negative tone. So a lot of Gen Z are like, we're not staying if it's like that. Prices, oh my God. To get this government to raise the minimum wage has been a stress, and just to add the stress of people and the lack of respect at work, a lot of Gen Zs are like, no, I'm not going to stay and give this company my whole life if they can't respect me. And it's been a lot of things like that. But on the other side of corporations and a lot of older employers and managers, they feel that this newer generation is more lazy, and they feel that it's not okay to just, and unprofessional even, to just quit your job. And where I stand on this is, I don't know, I'm a Gen Z. I stand on that side where I just don't believe that it's fair to give your whole life to a company or corporation or the government, and you don't really get that same reciprocation back. I saw on the news that the Senate was going over whether or not Social Security should be raised. So people are working their whole lives and can be dropped at a drop of a dime. If the market changes, you've seen that happen with Twitter and Facebook. The market changes and there's less needs for those jobs. These people are getting dropped, fired in this economy, with some people having no savings, living paycheck to paycheck. So some people are now feeling like, why would I give my employer a 2-week notice, especially with the disrespect? And there's no guarantee that they would ever give me a 2-week notice. They would just hire a new person. So some people feel that it is very unfair, a lot of Gen Zs especially, which is why we've just been bouncing from job to job to job to job, which isn't good. And I wish we were able to have that balance in the world. But in the state of the economy at the moment, it's really hard to keep people at their job. And I feel like it's unfair to even make it a Gen Z issue. I feel like a lot of people in general are starting to realize their worth, and that they are worth more than slaving, doing 10 people's jobs for bare minimum wage. So I feel like with the market right now, a 2-week notice isn't realistic. Like, maybe back when the inflation wasn't as bad, or if the job market was better, it would be different. But you can have 2 degrees and still be making minimum wage doing something completely out of your major or out of your degree or education. So it's just a weird little, time that's going through. It's like what's respectful and what's not respectable. And I feel like with the times changing, that 2-week notices, me personally, I'm going where the money goes. Where the money resides is what my mother says. So if a company is treating me like really bad and I know I am worth more than what they're paying me, if I can find another job, I'm out. I'm out in a heartbeat. You should have noticed 2 weeks ago I was unhappy is what I like to say also. Or do you feel like you're more on the other side where you feel that it is the responsibility of the employee to give the employer some time just to prepare themselves for the loss that they're going to receive with you not working there anymore? What do you guys think of this topic? I'm really curious. If you haven't already, please follow us on Instagram at WTW_TETYME for tea time, just so that we could talk about it. We can have a real conversation of what you think. So 2-week notice or no 2-week notice. But if you are more of a email person, because not everybody's on Instagram, you could always email me at thepodcast@gmail.com. And we'll definitely have a conversation about what you think. Or if you have anything that you want to hear from me or you want my thoughts on, or you want to do some deep digging on something for you, please let me know. But for the meantime, I hope you enjoy that tea, because that will be all from me. But it'll be more of me next time on Tea Time. Bye, y'all.
Yo, what up? This is Ben from the Jungle Brothers, and you are now listening to What's the Word Podcast.
Now it's time to get into what I'm listening to, watching, and reading. So as far as what I'm listening to, I basically been listening to my audio from Africa. So the entire trip, everywhere we went, a lot of the tours we did, a lot of people we met. I mean, I even got to see my elephants, y'all. I got to see my elephants. So even going to see them in the wild, I have audio from the tour guide, who was very cool, even though the elephants actually tried to attack us. I'm definitely going to post that soon at some point on my reels on Instagram, because it was scary. Like, literally, they tried to attack us. We were stuck between a tribe of elephants. I don't know what they are called when it's like 5 or more, because it was definitely more. Then one of the elephants got behind us, so we couldn't back up anymore. It was very scary. But I have audio from just speaking to people out there, getting the experience of living there. And it's a lot of friends, like I mentioned before in the last pod, that, they went to visit, and now I actually see why they stayed and never came back. So that's basically what I'm listening to. What I'm watching, I've been currently watching the 1619 Project by Nicole Hannah Jones. I actually have the book. I never got around to finishing it all because it's very heavy. But basically, the 1619 Project is on Hulu, and y'all need to check that out. It's a few episodes, or basically it's a series, but it's a few episodes breaking down a lot of wrongdoings, a lot of things that you may not be aware of as far as Black history. Just as far as like voting, giving birth, or how they tried to stop us from procreating, I guess. But that's basically all I've really been watching since I've been back. And again, it's only been a week, and I've been at work 4 days so far after coming back, because I did take extra days off to kind of recover and get my jet lag out the way and all of that stuff. And when I'm reading, I brought books at one of the tours we went to. So we went to Elmina Slave Castle. So I bought books from there. And one of the books I'm currently reading is called Elmina, The Castles and the Slave Trade. So it basically breaks down people who were captive, I guess you would say, in these dungeons. Now, this castle had dungeons. Like, I'll probably definitely share that on the next episode because I have to tell y'all about that experience. But you can look the book up. I'll probably post the book, or you can always send me an email if you're interested in getting a copy. You can email the podcast, what'stheword@gmail.com. And it was originally written in 2013, but it was revised in 2017. So, check that out because, again, this is history that we should know. We should know our proper history, especially if you have children. They're trying to erase or have like critical race theories and all of these things where they're not trying to give our future the truth of where we've actually come from. So y'all need to really get on it, but I won't hold you. And yeah, that's all I have for what I'm listening to, what I'm watching, what I'm reading. Lastly, let me tell you about people I think you should know.
What's up, everybody? This is Steph Love, and you are tuned in to What's the Word podcast with Brooklyn Ty.
So people I think you should know, and it's going to be simple. You need to know yourself. We need to know who we are. We need to know where we come from. We need to know where we're going. We need to know what we want from life. We need to know the people who we surround ourselves with are positive and actually have the same common goals. No hate, no kind of, pettiness and fakeness. And we need people in our corner who's going to always hold us down, who are going to be there to support us, to check on us, because I did forget, I apologize, to remind everyone to check on your people. Check on the ones you love. Check on even the ones who say they're doing okay, but deep down inside, if you feel like they're not doing okay, or you feel like you may just need to pull up. Like you call them, you text them, I felt like maybe she was just saying, or maybe he was just saying he was okay, she was okay, but let me just pull up. Do that, because a real friend would appreciate, and you might even save a life. So let's get to know who we are and what we want out of life and what we need to do to get there. So that's all I have. Basically, hope you enjoyed. Again, tell a friend to tell a friend. What's the Word podcast with Brooklyn Ty. As always, shout out to Smiles, who is my program director, producer, all of that good stuff. Check him out. You can follow him on social media at SmilesTF1. Thank you again for tuning in. Next episode, I'll have more of Africa. If you have any questions about going to Africa or like anything else I've experienced, if you want to listen to more audio, I have tons of audio. I'll be glad to share. If you think I should probably give you a 3 episode of Africa, because I've literally been talking about this trip at work every day, not even on purpose, but when you get to experience something like Africa, going home, going to the motherland, it really changes your life. And if you know someone who's gone to Africa, and again, I've only went to Senegal, Ghana, and South Africa. Africa is huge. The flight from Ghana to South Africa alone was like a full day. So, it's a huge, Africa is big. So if you've ever known anyone that have gone in and they come back and they change, that's me. That's where I'm at this point. I went back to work looking at life different, looking at people different. The calmness of Africa, where even the way they jaywalk across the street and the driving is crazy, but you never hear anyone honking their horns, cursing anybody out. I mean, they drive on the opposite side of us. So the driver is on the right side. I can get used to looking right to left instead of left to right crossing the street, because I definitely wouldn't drive there. There's no way in the world I would drive there. And I mean, that's anywhere in Africa. I would just want to be driven around, or I would just walk a lot of places. A big, huge difference as well from spending time walking on earth, like dirt, clay ground, grass, sand, and then coming back to wearing shoes and concrete, gravel. It's a huge difference. The food, where like everything is grown for the most part. Or they'll climb up a tree and get some bananas or a coconut. Like everything about it. The hustle game, let me tell you, the hustle is serious. So even when we were at Gorée Island and we wanted to do a little shopping, so they hunt you down from on the boat. Like they're on the boat with you, like seeing who's coming to their, to the island so that they can start hustling to get you to shop at their shop. But everybody works together. So it's not like they're trying to steal you from someone else for making money. It's like, come here, get a little bit of this, and then I'm over here so you can get a little bit of that. Some of the things are the same, but a lot of things, most of the things, just about everything is handmade. So they'll even try to hustle you because, of course, I'm sure a lot of tourists have come from different parts. They start asking, where you from? Because, of course, we stood out from the jump. Like our style of dress, straight from talking, they automatically can tell, just like we can tell, we're from America. So they would ask, just saying America wasn't enough. But some of the people I was with were like, oh, I'm from New York. And then some of them were even good enough to be like, where at in New York? But I killed the whole vibe in a good way for me. That saved me. Because I was like, oh, I'm from America. And they were like, oh, where are you from? And they didn't say it like that. Of course, they had the accent. But I was like, oh, I'm from Virginia. Because I was like, y'all are not going to hustle a hustler. But I peep game. But we shop. I brought a lot of things back for myself, for my kids, for some of my customers. Just, people that I love, and just wanted to get special things from my trip. So again, I'm sorry. I was babbling and going on and on and on. So as always, thank you for tuning in. Spread love. It's the Brooklyn Tie Way. Hey, it's Brooklyn Tie. At Brooklyn Tie NYC. And spread love. It's the Brooklyn Tie Way.